Okay. Hello, Diddy. Hello, Andre. Just wait until the people collect. So let's give them 3 more minutes. So 1 more minute of waiting. So you're basically the senior students, right? You're the grade 3 students.
What's the password and ID?
For what? For the meeting?
Yeah, because I'm on my iPad, but I need to join on my mom's laptop.
Okay, please wait for me a little.
Never mind, I found it.
You found it. Okay, that's great.
I have to take my nose spray.
Yes, please. All right. Nice. So seems like now we get you all together. All right, I'm still, resolving questions of different parents, of different students. It's not easy as we are gradually moving to a totally different system. So you are all the senior students. You're now following the last grade for this class. So for preteens, there are 3 grades, and for teens, there are 3 grades. Now, because you're preteens, you cannot follow a teens grade. But, I have an idea. After you finish the 3rd grade, well, then you know it all, right? And then that means if you know it all, you know what you can do? You can teach others. So when you finish the 3rd grade, then my plan is that I will actually train you to teach the 1st grade. Okay? You would be first assisting, and then when you get enough experience, you can teach according to the instructions. But you still have 1 whole year to start that training. You know what I mean? So this year you still have to do your grade 3, no teaching yet. And then from the next year, 2024, if everything goes well, I would like to ask you to help me teaching other students. Because there is nothing more to teach you until you become 12 years old. If you are 12, then of course you would be following a teenager's. Some of you perhaps are already 11 or 10. Anyone who's 11, please raise your hand. Andre, how old are you?
I am 10 years old.
You're 10. Tiri is 10. How old are you? You're 9?
No, I'm still 8.
You're 8. Okay. There's not a problem. Make use of your time. Tiri, you're lucky to be 8. That's good for you. Tenza, how old are you?
9.
You're 9. Yamona? I don't hear you. You're 7. Okay. And Emily?
I'm 9.
You're 9. Emily, you wanted to say something. What was that?
So after a whole year, we'll be teachers?
Not yet. You will be teachers in training. You can start training being teachers. You will not be teachers yet. You will be teachers in training. Do you know what that means? So after a whole year, you can start learning how to be a teacher. So I will invite you into grade 1, and and you will be present there to learn how to teach. And I will tell you, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Now try to do this. Now try to do that. While I'm there and I'm watching and checking whether you're doing it right, and so on. Okay?
I don't think I'll like it.
You like it? Okay, we'll see. So it is very important for you not to just be able to understand the Buddha's teachings and practice it, but also to share it with others. Only then you become an inspirational person, and that itself may actually inspire you to practice the Buddha's teachings very well. And then when you are 12, well, then you can move on to the teenage classes. So this will allow us to grow and be allow more students to come. So we will probably have a lot of new students coming after about 2 weeks, not into this class, but because this class is for the senior students and you're the seniors. But we will have a lot of students coming into the first class, into the 1st grade. So I will probably have a lot of students in the 1st grade. So we will see how I can do this during this year. And then from the next year, I definitely will appreciate your help. Yes. Andre, do you know Ariel?
Yes.
You know Ariel? Okay. You are your friends, or she's
Yes.
your sister or something? No, you're just friends. Okay. All right. Nice. So we can sit in a comfortable meditation posture. All right. That looks good. I think we need to make a little adjustment with the cameras. Emily, can you tilt the camera a little bit down? Tensa also and Tiri also. Yeah, more nice. Perfect. I think Tiri, that was not successful. You need to tilt it a little down. Okay, yes. That looks better. Perfect. Tensa is perfect. Nice. Emily is perfect. Perfect. Very nice. So make sure your back is erect. Side cast down. And we can make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice the flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be heavy. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes, and we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the body to be heavy. And we enjoy the heaviness. We allow the heaviness to grow as we say heavy, heavy. And as we allow this body to be the way it is, we enjoy the freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's enjoy this peace. Now we can share this peace with other living beings. We can start in our room. May all beings in this room be in peace. And we can gradually expand our thoughts of loving kindness. May all beings in this building be in peace. May all beings in this city or village be in peace. May all beings in this country be in peace. May all beings on this planet be in peace. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. So just a moment, I'm still trying to get this thing ready. So, do you know the book Buddhism for Kids for the activities? Did you follow with me the whole book? Oh, you didn't, right? Well, that means that Ao and May, who came later, would more benefit from the class for grade 1. Okay, so I would like to suggest that Ao and May join our grade 1 class, where we go from an absolute beginning, but after about few months you will probably be learning new things. So I would like to suggest that Ao and May join the grade 1 and patiently wait until they start learning new things, because I will be explaining there everything again from the beginning. Meditation and recitation and the Buddha's life and everything. But more importantly, we follow the book 40 activities, and you need to have this book finished in order to move to grade 2. Now this is grade 3. So you need to have that basic knowledge. All right. So Ao and May, Ao, where do you live? Ao, please come close to the microphone and tell me, where do you live?
I don't know where I live.
May, will you tell Ao where do you live? May, come to the microphone and help Ao. Tell him, where is he now? Where are you?
Delhi City.
Where?
Delhi City.
Which city? What's the name of the city? Do you know it?
No.
You don't know? Oh, do you know what's the name of the city where you are? Oh, stop playing and tell us, where are you?
Something city. Something city.
I don't know that kind of city. Can you write it for me in the chat box? If you have parents somewhere around, you can ask them, where are you now?
Yeah, we live in San Francisco.
In San Francisco. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So,
There's San Francisco.
okay, so hopefully Ao and May will now remember that they live in San Francisco. And the San Francisco time for grade 1 is Friday, 5 p.m. So that's only for Ao and May, Friday, 5 p.m. of California time. So if you can join on Friday, 5 p.m., then that's better. Again, May and Ao will have to be patient, because many things that they already know, I will be repeating in detail for many, many students. Now we have many students and we will have even more in grade 1. So very big. But I think they will benefit more, because here, when I will be explaining things, I will be expecting a lot of basic knowledge, which May and Ao still do not have. And it will be better, because then May and Ao will be 100% sure that they are not missing out anything, and that they get through all of the necessary knowledge, so they can build on it with advanced knowledge later. All right, so I would like to ask Ao and May to join us on Friday, 5 p.m. So that's your next week, right? Thank you very much. And I will continue. And if you like to leave, you can leave now, Ao and May. And I will be now concentrating on our senior students. So the plan. The plan is that we will continue in Jatakas. Do you remember we were reading Jatakas? I asked you to read Jatakas, and then you were drawing. I actually made some summary and then copied the Jatakas in Facebook, and then you were drawing your pictures. Do you remember it, everybody? If yes, you can nod. Yamona, did you draw any pictures? You don't remember any drawing of Jataka pictures? Yamona.
No.
The pictures about the merchants, about the Buddha's past life. You don't remember anything of that, Yamona? Can you unmute yourself and tell me?
Think?
What do you remember? I will show you, alright? So that you're sure about what's going on. We will start that from the beginning. Well, actually, we don't have to, but I will ask you where you are, each person, and then you will need to fill up what was missing. We didn't go much far, so even if you missed something, it cannot be much. Okay, Yamona, now do you remember? You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I see my dad's name.
Excuse me?
I see my dad's name.
You see your dad's name. Okay, that's cool. But do you remember, Yamona, that you were drawing for these stories? Yeah. Okay, so now what we need is that you actually make sure that you have read these stories, because we want to continue. So at this moment, the last Jataka was Jataka number 4, about the little merchant. And that was part 2. So Jataka 4 is a little larger. And you see there is a lot of things to read. It's not huge, but it's quite big if you need to finish this within 1 week. So it's all of this is just the second part of the story. That's a lot, right? But if you did not read this, then it's not okay to continue with another story. So we have stories 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all what we have now. Only 4 stories. If you already have read the stories, do not read them again. Okay? If you already have read all of the 4 stories, do not read any of that. If you have read only 3, then you need to read 1. If you read 2 stories, you need to read 2 stories. Does that make sense? Okay? So, Andre, did you read all of the 4 stories?
I think I read at least 3. I can't remember if I read all 4.
Okay. Yamona, did you read the stories or did you just draw things?
I read the story.
You read the story. Did you read all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Emily?
I read all 4.
You read all 4. Perfect. Didi?
I'm not sure if I read them all or not.
Okay, and roughly, do you think you read like 2 or 3 or 1?
Maybe. But definitely not 4.
Definitely not 4. Okay.
The 4th, I don't think I remember about that.
Okay, that's fine. And Tenza?
I read it, but I think I forgot it.
You forgot it. Okay. So you know what? I see some people read it, some people don't remember it, some people didn't read it. We will now follow a little bit different system. The first 4 stories are probably the same or similar. But in this system, I will not be actually I will not be writing the stories anymore, because there is a book which provides you with the stories in a simple form. And so I wish that you actually follow that book. Unfortunately, the book is not for free. So I have announced about the let me see, it's a little bit complicated in here. So I have already explained in our Viber groups exactly the book names and everything that you may need. But I will repeat it here again. It's called Jataka Tales of the Buddha. Jataka Tales of the Buddha. I'm sending you the information in the Zoom chat, and you will need to have these books so that you can easily follow with us. I will show you how it looks like. No, these are short versions. We have longer ones. Here it is. So it looks like this, and there are 3 volumes, and they are huge. One volume is 500 pages. There are 3 volumes. That's a lot. We have 1 year for that. Okay, so that's a lot of reading, a lot of studying. But you're now the senior students, so you need to be efficient in your work, all right? So I will be asking you to read in your free time, and then when we meet, we will be talking about the story. There are a lot of wonderful stories. They're just stories. No technical, well, there may be some interesting things, but it's mostly just stories. All right? It's just story after story after story. Many, 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 many stories. I think you will get there altogether about 300 stories. And this is a selection. This is a little summary. Because Jatakas are stories of the Buddha's previous lives. So you already perhaps remember from what I've said that after we die, we are born somewhere else again. And then when we die there, we are born somewhere else again, and again, and again. Except that sometimes we are born as humans, sometimes as animals, sometimes as ghosts, sometimes as gods. So the Buddha, before he became a Buddha, he also was born in many, many, many previous lives. Everybody is clear what I'm saying? Everybody understands? If yes, you can nod. Okay, fine. And Jataka is, what does Jataka mean? Jataka is a story of the Buddha's previous life. So when I say Jataka, you immediately need to think, aha, that's Buddha in his previous life. Okay, there is no other meaning of the word. Only one meaning. Jataka is always a story about the Buddha's previous life. Okay, and altogether, today we have 547 Jatakas available to read in the books. There are some more, but we don't believe that they are right. We believe that the reliable stories, I mean, we means Burmese Buddhist monks, believe that there are 547 reliable stories of the Buddha's previous life. Of course, there were many more lives. The Buddha had many lives before he became a Buddha. But we have only 547 accounts of his lives, okay, that we trust. We have many more, but we don't believe the others. Okay, maybe they're true, we don't know, but we don't trust them. 547. And you will be learning these Jatakas this year. Except that you will not be learning 547. You will be learning only about 300. So 300, that means if we have 52 weeks and we don't have 52 weeks anymore, we have about 40. We have about 40 weeks that remain for this year. We will have about 40 years this week. And because we will have about 40 weeks this year, and we need to do 300 Jatakas, can anybody here count for me how many Jatakas we need to do every week? How will you count it? What will be the mathematical formula? How will you come to that number? What is the formula?
Division.
Yes, that's division, that's right. And what kind of, what will you divide by what?
We will divide 300 by 40.
Perfect, that's right. And 300 divided by 40 is how much?
7.
It's about 7. That's right. It's a little over 7. It's exactly 7.5. So, is that possible? It is. So, 7.5. So that means that you need to read about 8 stories every week. Oh, that's funny. That's cool. So that's, of course, impossible. So what do you suggest? We would have to, but it doesn't make much sense anyway. Anyway, we have 52. We have about 40 weeks. We have 300 stories. 300 stories. They're coming too early. All right, so I think we will just read as much as we can, and then we will see, because some stories are very short. That's how it comes, and some stories are insanely long. They're like a huge, long. So you have one story that is as long as 20 stories. And the more you read, first it starts with tiny short stories, and then they become longer and longer until they become insanely long. So the last 10 stories are incredibly long. And they're very long, each of the 10 stories, and they're very important, and you need to know them perfectly. If you don't know them, well, then something's wrong with you. You need to know the last 10 stories, and you need to know them very well, okay? But of course, we start from the beginning, we don't start from the end. So I suggest that we will be reading according to pages instead of according to stories. And then you will be just choosing a story that you like. All right. We will not be reading according to stories because that's too much stressful. We'll be just reading whatever is in the pages. And then if there is something you found interesting, you just draw it. You choose a picture that you liked from the stories. I see that Yulia's daughters are here. So I will ask you to join us after about 10 minutes because I'm finishing here one class, and after 10 minutes I will be starting another class. Okay? Thank you. Now the task for all of the senior here preteen students is that you need to get the book. It's very important that you have the book so that you can follow. You don't need to read anything yet. You need to have the book. Again, the book is not for free, unfortunately. You can have it on your computer, on your iPad. You do not need to have the paper book. If you have the paper book, probably you will be happier. That's what I think. Maybe you not, I don't know. But you will need to have it next week because next week I will already tell you how many pages you need to read for the other week. All right. We are not waiting here for anyone. We are complete class. Okay, Valentina didn't come today, but that's not a big thing. So we are relatively complete in here. So we are not waiting for anything. Now we are actually late and we need to hurry up. All right. With the other classes, we are waiting for people, because after 2 weeks, I will get many new students. So we are basically waiting for the new students after 2 weeks. But with you, no, not waiting. We are in a hurry. So if you can get that book, that would be great. And I will show you how will we actually divide that. So I suggest that we will start reading 20 pages a week. I will show you how a page looks like so you see how much of text would that be. The pages I think are not so bad and they're made for children anyway. So I will share with you the screen again. All right. So when we move to the stories, this is one page. This is second page. It's a lot of reading, I understand. But we have just 1 year for this. All right. So we have these are the pages, and it's like 20 pages. So if you read 20 pages, it really be like here. A lot of reading, a lot of studying.
I've read 4th and 5th grade books before.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna get used to it.
Yes. Think about it like reading Harry Potter, Do you know how thick are
Harry Potter.
You never read Harry Potter?
No.
No problem. You will be reading Jatakas. That's better. So Harry Potter is thick like this, one volume. And you have like how many now? 8 or 9? And it's a basic reading. You need to have read it or at least watched it. Otherwise, you don't understand what people are talking about. Yes, Tenza?
I've seen my classmates with Harry Potter books. Thick.
Yes. Reading Harry Potter is today is a basic knowledge. Like if you don't know Harry Potter, then you're missing out something. Anyway, there are movies. So if you don't want to read the books, at least there are movies. Anyway, now Jatakas are better because Harry Potter is made up. It's just ideas of one woman. Whereas Jatakas are have a religious significance. Do you know what that means? It means that they are important for the religion. They are important for understanding Buddhism. If you want to understand the Buddha's teachings, you need to read Jatakas. And whole nations follow the teachings of Jatakas. Sri Lankan understanding, mentality, their culture is based on Jatakas. Burmese, Thailand, and Laos and Cambodia, they are very based on Jatakas. If you don't know these stories, you just cannot understand what the people are, doing, how they think. So Jatakas is the basic knowledge to understand your peers, to understand your friends in the religion, in Buddhism. If you don't know Jatakas, you're really missing a lot. So that's why it's so important. And we have, it's a lot. But look at this. This is one story, second story. If let me see how many pages. So the first story starts page 19 for me. So that will be until 39, right? 39. So that could be the first 4 stories. So you would be reading story 1, 2, 3, 4. And most of you already read them. So you already know what they're about. Therefore, it should be easy. Because you already know them. You already read them in Facebook, right? So that's how you start, but then it will become a little difficult, although the page number will be the same. We will always stick to 20 pages only. All right? And then maybe we will, by the second half of the year, we will maybe skip some stories so that you read the last 10 stories very well. Because you need to know the last 10 stories. That's the number one thing. If you know just about 5 stories from these short stories, and then the last 10 stories, altogether 15 stories, it's enough. You have 300 stories, you need to know 15. But we will do as much as we can. I want you to know all of them, all right? Because you need to know everything. All right, so that's the plan. Anyone has any question, any idea, anything you'd like to say? Okay, Didi has a question.
So I just want to make sure, 20 pages a week, I think?
Yep.
Is that correct?
But I will always tell you which are those pages. Okay? At this moment, it is a little bit over 20 pages. The 4 stories are about like 22 pages, 23 pages. I will tell you exactly. Yes, 24 pages. Yes. So you don't want to, end in a half of a story, right? That's weird. So you can read the first 4 stories, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if you have read the 4 stories, please read this again because there is more detail. Yes, Emily?
So will that mean I should get picture books from the library?
You don't need to get any pictures. You do not need to get any picture books or anything like that. But you will need this particular book. You will need this particular book. No other book. You don't need any other book. Only this one. And I have written for you which book in the chat box, and it's also in the Viber. Okay. So Tiri's mom already told me that she's ordering the book. So for Tiri, it's sure. Andre, do you think you can ask your parents about? You can tell them about the book.
We already bought the book on the tablet.
You already have that book. Are you sure it's the same book that I showed you now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have volume 2.
Perfect. Tenza?
My mom bought it a long time ago.
Can you show it?
It's at my other house.
Oh, there it is not useful. You need to have it with you. Okay, so for next time. Emily?
Well, she has volume 2.
Okay, there's volume 2. You will need volume 1. So that's pretty good. Emily, how about you? Do you have the book?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Do you think you
My
can?
mom hasn't even bought it yet.
No problem. There's no hurry for that. She has 7 days to buy it. 7 days. So no hurry at all. Okay? Zue? You can get it. Okay, that's good. Yamona?
I haven't bought it yet either, but I can get it.
You can get it. That's beautiful. So I wish you all that you're successful. That means that there is no reading for this week, because those who have the book, you can start reading, so that next week you don't need to do anything. But we are waiting for those who don't have the book to get the book. So now for this week, take your time, and then it will be big. And then you need to learn reading 20 pages every week. But I think as soon as you learn to read 20 pages a week, it's not so much. I have to read about 100 or 150 pages every week. And I actually read even more than that. Yes, Tiri?
I think I'll be able to do 20 pages a week because I have to do 20 pages a day already in school. So I
Yeah,
can really do
perfect.
that.
Nice. Yeah, I like comments like that. Nice. Thank you. Okay, good. So thank you everyone for coming today. I'm moving on to the next class. Now starts the teen class. So we actually cannot go much over time, as you can see, because right after our class is another class, totally a different class. So it was a pleasure to see everyone. And I hope to see you again next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Nice.